Good morning, everyone. Hey, welcome to another Monday Mindset. This Monday Mindset is dedicated to helping all of you busy moms and grandmas out there to help you to find peace with food and freedom from cravings. I want to give you the confidence so that you can achieve your goal body this year with a healthy, real food lifestyle free from sugar and flour. So, I am your coach, Erin Hart, and for today's Monday Mindset, I want to take you behind the scenes of my personal journey to health with a sugar and flour free lifestyle. If you are a woman over 40 that struggles with your relationship with food, feels powerless against cravings, and wants to heal your body with a healthy, real food lifestyle, I can help you because we're on the same path. And I used to be 284 pounds and I lost 125 pounds and have maintained a healthy weight for 3 years now after a lifetime of riding the dieting roller coaster. So I understand the struggle and I am right there on the journey with you. So today I want to share all of the ups and downs that I experienced during the last 4 years, including what worked great for me and helped me to achieve extraordinary success with sustainable weight loss, as well as what mistakes I made that you can avoid so you can take the shortcut to success. My journey to success wasn't a straight path. So I hope that by sharing all of the ups and downs with you, it will give you hope and help you to keep going and help you to avoid the mistakes I've made. So, for those of you who are my current clients in the VIP Facebook group and are joining me live here in the VIP Facebook group for this Facebook Live, welcome. If you have a question about your program that you would like me to address at the Q&A session at the end of this call, please just go ahead and type that in the chat, and I'm going to be sure to get to it after the Monday Mindset message. So be sure to come, set your alarm, those of you who are my clients, for 10 a.m. Mountain Time every Monday morning to come to this meeting. This is a really great opportunity for you to get your questions answered, to celebrate your wins, and to help you to navigate your challenges. So, all right. I started my journey back in 2020 after a lifetime of failed dieting attempts and issues with binge eating. So, over the course of 10 years, I got married, I started my career as a registered nurse, and started having kids. I have 3 little girls, and I struggled to cope with all of the stresses and emotions of life and being a caregiver. And, I used food to feel better when I was sad or stressed or tired or to celebrate. And after exhausting long days at work or taking care of the kids all day, I would turn to food to and I would binge on food to just help me to feel better and unwind, right? I didn't have those healthy coping mechanisms yet, and my unhealthy relationship with food resulted in me gaining 125 pounds over the course of 10 years. And I knew that I had to change. I mean, as a nurse, I'd seen the devastating consequences of diet-related diseases, so I tried all the diets, right, only to gain all the weight back and more. And until one day I said, enough. And I was 284 pounds. I had signs of prediabetes. I had trouble walking up the stairs and putting on my own socks. I couldn't do all the things I loved to do and wanted to do anymore because of my size. And I was just tired all of the time. I remember that day looking into the mirror and not recognizing my reflection. And it was in that moment, with tears in my eyes and feeling so discouraged and defeated, that a fire was lit inside of me. I thought about my 3 daughters who needed me to be their mom, and I decided that I was going to do whatever it took so that I could get healthy, so that I could be there for them as they grew up, and and so that I could live the life that I wanted, right? I knew that I had to do something different than what I had tried a million times. And I never had lasting success with moderating, with Weight Watchers or calorie counting. Um, but I was ready to take action. I just didn't want a fad or gimmick. I knew that there wasn't a quick fix. I wanted something that was sustainable, that would help me to lose weight in a healthy way and keep it off. And that's when I discovered the power of a sugar and flour free lifestyle. So I loved the idea of not having to exercise to lose weight because it just felt so overwhelming to not only change my diet, but to also to start exercising. That had never been sustainable for me in the past to do both of those at the same time, to start both of those at the same time. I loved that I didn't have to count calories with a sugar and flour free lifestyle. And while it felt a little bit extreme to me to give up sugar and flour, I was so desperate for a solution that I was ready to try it. And so, long story short, it worked. And in less than a year of going sugar and flour free and weighing my food without snacking in between meals, I lost 125 pounds. And in just a few weeks, I stopped craving sugar and flour, and I found myself consistently losing weight by eating a ton of food, like an abundance of healthy, real, unprocessed food. So I didn't feel like I was depriving myself. I was eating a ton of nutrient dense food that was low in caloric density. And it was really feeling like I created morning and evening routines to support my new lifestyle. And then eventually it just became easy and effortless. And I couldn't believe it. It's such a miracle in my life. And for those of you who are on that dieting roller coaster and you understand the struggle I was talking about, it's nothing short of a miracle, right? To be able to experience that. My body changed dramatically that year. But even more importantly, I experienced a mental, emotional, and spiritual transformation that was just as dramatic, if not more. And while, the experience of losing all of that weight that year, it wasn't always easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But because I just surrendered to the plan and I didn't look back, it became easy and automated and eventually effortless. The hardest part was just starting. And that first week, I was so cranky and tired. Like I felt the effects of a physical withdrawal from processed foods that really surprised me. But that passed after just a few days. I did struggle with cravings and food thoughts for a few weeks. That mental battle. Losing weight is such a mental game, right? But because I was really consistent and I didn't give in to those food thoughts and cravings, and I just surrendered to the plan, went all in, those urges and cravings passed too. And the cravings eventually went away. I did have some hunger that lasted, longer than that, which is expected when you're on a caloric deficit. So what I did that helped me was I adjusted my meal times so that they were closer together. I wasn't going so long in between meals, and my hunger eventually went away. I ate 3 meals a day, and I pushed back my breakfast to 10 or 11. My lunch, I ate it around 1 or 2 o'clock, and then dinner, I ate around 4 or 5 o'clock. And then, closed the kitchen and just washed, rinsed, and repeated, eating each meal on plan. So losing 125 pounds was a really transformative experience, both physically and emotionally. It wasn't just about the weight. It was about reclaiming my life. I wanted to share. So today, what I want to do is to share some key elements that played a crucial role in my journey, hoping that they can inspire and guide you as well. So during the weight loss phase, some important habits that were crucial to my success was journaling. So first, journaling, writing down, before this, I was never a journaler, but writing down my thoughts, my feelings, celebrating my progress on paper was a game changer. When we write things out longhand, it really helps us to rewire our brain. So it really helped me to stay accountable. It provided space for me to process my emotions in a healthier way without turning to food. And each night I would use my journal and I would just look in my fridge. I would write down what I was going to eat the next day. And then the next day I ate exactly what I wrote down, and I just put a star next to every meal that I ate on plan. And, I wasn't always perfect with eating exactly what I had written, but I do attribute almost all of my success to that one habit. I really, most of the time was just like so good at that habit. I'd also spend that time at night to write down things I was grateful for. And that helped me to just write down 3 things I was grateful for each night, to rewire my brain to start looking for what was going right and not always focusing on what's going wrong. And it was a great way, journaling was a great way for me to master my mindset by writing down empowering mantras to help me to start to believe those and to think those, and it helped me to shift my mindset from the negative self-doubt right to empowering thoughts. I celebrated every win in my journal and would like draw pictures or something to celebrate when I hit certain milestones. I rewarded myself every 5 pounds with something that was fun for me and kept me motivated. So journaling was a really important part of my success that first year. Another part of my success during the weight loss phase was really just prioritizing my self-care. And for those of you who are caregivers, who are women and moms who take care of everyone else and your needs come last on the to-do list, I'm talking to you, because one thing that really helped me to achieve success that year was realizing that taking care of myself was not selfish and it was non-negotiable. So what this meant to me was carving out time for me. So even with my busy schedule, working full time, I recognize that self-care is not selfish. And so during that year of you, I declared it, right? The year of me, my year of you, right? I cut back on my hours at work so that I could prioritize my own self-care. And so that I could just have more time to focus on this really huge goal of losing 120 pounds. I dedicated this year to that, and so I was tired a lot because losing weight is really hard on your body. So I had to say no to a lot of things, and I took a lot of time to rest and take naps. Like I delegated the dishes and the laundry. I learned healthy boundaries with people and helped to improve codependent relationships. So anyway, prioritizing my own self-care, taking my needs, like my basic physiological needs, and instead of putting them last after I took care of everyone else, I put them first on the to-do list, and then learned to delegate, delete, delay, and disappoint other people. And so another thing that helped me in the weight loss phase was just like I talked about a little bit before, was just exactness and surrender. I was very precise with all my food choices, sticking really strictly to the sugar and flour free lifestyle. So um, I learned to surrender to the process and just trust that my efforts would pay off. So uh, it's not about being perfect, but we can be exact. And you know, everyone makes mistakes, and but it's all about just being unstoppable. But really, I to for you to achieve your health goals this year, it's going to take focus and consistent effort with the winning strategy. So you have to practice that exactness and just surrender to the meal plan because it works. We know it works, right? It's inevitable if you just consistently um, work the plan. So that first year, I just really made very few exceptions during the first year. Like I said, I wasn't perfect, but I was on plan almost 100%. And my advice to you, if you're starting this lifestyle, is and you're wanting to lose weight for the last time this year, is to go all in, to surrender to your meal plan and just try it out. For me, I couldn't wrap my head around doing it forever at that point, but I committed to a year, and I committed to get to my goal body, and after I got to my goal body, I committed to maintaining my goal body for a year. And then at that point, I gave myself permission to reevaluate if it's something I really wanted to do long term. And after experiencing countless amazing benefits like increased energy, mental clarity, and sustainable weight loss for the first time in my life, like I knew that I just never wanted to go back to how I used to eat and feel before because life was so much better without sugar and flour. It was such a stark contrast. I had a lot of great mentors during that first year, and when I got to my goal weight range, I reached out to experienced people within the sugar and flour free community that were successful with maintenance and had them guide me through the transition to maintenance, which can be so tricky. That really is the most important part of this whole process. Is it's not just about losing the weight, it's about keeping it off. And so learning to transition to maintenance is the most important part of the process. And so I surrounded myself with people who were experienced, and I surrounded myself with support and accountability. I had amazing buddies, and a mastermind group with others who were doing it, and I'm just so glad that I did that because that was very tricky for me to learn how to transition to maintenance. So I added in food slowly and systematically. I had a lot of food chatter during that transition to maintenance, which is so normal, you know. But once I did transition to maintenance, I experienced just some incredible benefits. And before I talk about the benefits of maintenance, I just want to say that reaching out for support was something that was not natural to me. I am introverted, like very introverted, and uh, and reaching out for support is something I'd never done before. So it was hard for me to do that, but that was really, I think community is one of the most important parts of the success path. It's enhancing and expanding your support community because we're so much stronger together. And accountability really is the insurance policy for all of your goals and dreams. So make sure that you have a buddy that you're checking in with every day. Expand your support system. Maybe create a group text with different people who are doing it, or meet once a week with people who are, as like a mastermind group type deal, or a Marco Polo group. Like it's really just the more people you have behind you in this goal, the more likely that you are to be successful. So, so yeah, transitioning to maintenance was a little tricky to figure out. It takes around 4 months to really just like get to that place where you're stable in maintenance on a new meal plan by adding food in slowly and systematically. But I was blown away by the incredible benefits of being in maintenance after being in the weight loss phase for about a year. So, first of all, I just had an incredible amount of energy. I had more energy than I ever thought was possible. I remember like just waking up at 4 a.m. and like just ready to go for the day. Like I just felt like so much energy like I'd never had before. It was the weirdest thing. And that energy allowed me to keep up with my kids and pursue my life goals, like starting a new business. I had, now that weight loss wasn't a focus anymore, I had mental space and clarity to be able to start working toward other goals. So I was able to do those things again that I love to do, like snowboarding and hiking and teaching my kids to ski, and it was just so exciting, so awesome to get to that point. If you're really tired in the weight loss phase, that's absolutely normal. So just hang in there. It's hard on your body to lose weight, but you will regain your energy eventually, and it feels amazing. I also had improved mood, like my mental health improved significantly. I felt so much happier, not because of how I looked. It wasn't about that. It was just in general. I felt better. Um, our minds, our bodies, and our spirits are just integrally connected. So when we improve our physical health, it also improves our mental and emotional health as well. I slept better. I had more confidence. So many benefits. I can't get into all of them today, um, but I learned that it was so worth it. All of the effort that it took for me to get to that point was so worth it. But maintenance wasn't without its challenges for me. I've struggled in maintenance at times. So during the transition to maintenance, one thing that was challenging was just feeling really hungry. When you're at the point where you don't have a lot of body fat left to lose, like you start. One of the signs that can help you to know it's about time to transition to maintenance is when you start to feel really hungry. Um, but now I know that that's so normal. But anyway, I underestimated my nutritional needs and found myself really hungry at times. Um, so during that transition to maintenance, and that's just a cue that it's probably time to add in some more food. Looking back, I know that now. So other one mistake I made during maintenance was exceptions and with quantities. So I had drawn a line in the sand with sugar and flour that became a wall, right? Like sugar and flour was not tempting to me anymore, which is crazy because my whole life um, that had been my struggle, was just feeling so out of control with processed foods. So that's a miracle. But then I started to get that in my mindset to um, that I started to make exceptions with my quantities, like bites, licks, and tastes while I was meal prepping, or just small exceptions with the quantities of food I was eating here and there. And that sometimes led to more significant setbacks, like occasional binging on compliant food. Never on the sugar and flour for me, and I'm so grateful. I know that that's kind of like that probably would have led to me regaining all my weight back and more. I've seen that happen to so many friends, and it's so tragic. And so I knew not to ever get back into the sugar and flour because the food addiction can just. Oh, so sorry, you guys. I'm just going to. Oh, hey, Gab. I'm just doing my call, okay? I'll call you back in just a sec. Are you okay? Oh, okay. Go get daddy. Oh, okay. I'll be out in just a minute. I love you, boo boo. Okay, sorry, guys. You know how it is trying to work from home with little kiddos. So, so yeah, anyway, you know, um, the hunger, we have to be careful with that because like that is a sign, and some we have to learn to listen to our bodies to and true physiological hunger, because when I was having a lot of physiological hunger, sometimes I would make those exceptions with quantities instead of just adding the food to my meal plan, and that led to the binging. And so that was definitely something I learned from a mistake, those mistakes that I made, because binging is the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do for your health, because, and it's just a perfect storm to regain body fat fast. And so we want to stay away from disordered eating at all costs. And looking back, I think what I would have done is just like added more food to my meal plan, and yeah, just have increased my accountability. So I made exceptions here and there with the quantities that led to some issues with binging, and yeah, just a learning opportunity. My issues with binging after the transition to maintenance, it really helped me though to identify some emotional needs that I had that hadn't been addressed yet, right? It was kind of like a canary in the coal mine, because my food felt so easy and automatic. So when I'd start to binge, it really just helped me to identify like inner work that needed to be done, and 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 doing the self-reflection afterward, the compassionate curiosity, helped me to just understand like why I was going back to those old coping mechanisms. And so that helped me to to learn from those experiences by doing the compassionate curiosity exercise, so that I could find healthier coping mechanisms. Uh, and I'm a person that before this, I really didn't know that I was a person that experienced anxiety. Like I often felt like I was in a fight or flight mode, but I didn't really, it never clicked that I was experiencing anxiety. Like I just thought that people always felt that way. But anxiety, I learned that anxiety was one of the biggest triggers for me to binge. And so that made it really hard to maintain my progress, because if I was inconsistent with my meal plan, with maintaining the quantities on my plans, it led to weight creep, right? And so, I learned that anxiety was a trigger for me, and that was something I needed to look deeper into and deal with head on. So I'll get into that in just a little bit more depth in just a second. But another thing that was a struggle for me during maintenance was just like wanting to start exercising. But I really struggled with the balance of exercise and the food chatter of needing to add more food because of exercise. So sometimes that would also trigger binging, right? Like when I would exercise really vigorously and then feel like I needed more food. So that really took a lot of coaching to help me to learn how to navigate that. And I've learned that it's just so important to separate your food from exercise. And that's a topic for another day. But it was a challenge that I faced in maintenance. So I made some mistakes in maintenance. And those issues with binging did lead to a bit of weight creep initially. But amid the challenges, there were a lot of things that I did right during that time. And I'd say one of the things that I can give myself credit for is just, I maintained compassion for myself and self love. I didn't fall into shame, and I tried not to beat myself up. you know, I tried to really just learn from those experiences, and I learned how to quickly course correct. So I never let it turn into months or years of struggle. I never, those slippery slopes never turned into a downward spiral, thank goodness, because of the work I had done to practice quickly and immediately course correcting every time. And then doing the self reflection afterward to learn from it, to try to adjust my strategy, and to go forward there. So, with the anxiety, um, understanding my trigger of feeling anxious leading to binging, I sought professional help from therapy, like a licensed therapist. I sought help from life coaches, and from my doctor. So my doctor recommended medication to help me with my binge episodes that were triggered by anxiety. And it really helped. So seeking professional help was so crucial in learning to manage my anxiety and find new coping mechanisms that were healthy, that weren't turning to food like I always used to do. I really surrounded myself with support. Like I said, I'm so introverted, was not natural for me, but I can't say enough just how important community is. Like, I learned to never isolate myself, and I forced myself to uh, reach out when I didn't want to. Like when was struggling and I had binged, I forced myself to tell someone every single time. Um, so I had really strong support network with buddies and mastermind group. I invested in coaches and built a support network that really helped to keep me accountable. Um, like I said, I practiced constant course correction. So whenever I strayed, I just corrected my course immediately, never allowing myself to stay in the ditch for long. And just my one rule that I had in my life was just trying never to have 2 meals off track in a row. So if I had a slip up, I never gave up. It wasn't just because you slip up doesn't mean that you have to give up. It's just like, okay, learn from it, get right back on track. And I had that unstoppable mindset. So I really cultivated that mindset of unstoppability, just staying committed to my goals no matter what. And my goals changed. It wasn't weight loss anymore. Now I was going for distance, not speed, to get to my goal, right? And it's maintenance is a completely different mindset than the weight loss phase. That's something that's really challenging for people once they lose all of their excess weight and they've been having that goal their whole life. Like once they get there, that can be really challenging. So it's so important to learn to master your mindset and maintenance, which is a totally different strategy than we use in the weight loss phase. So I really maintained those strong boundaries, staying away from the sugar and flour, and remained steadfast in my commitment to that sugar and flour free lifestyle, which was so protective for me. And I'm so grateful for that. I've known a lot of people who have lost a significant amount of weight, and once they got to their goal, you can fall into the trap of feeling overconfident and complacent, starting to try to moderate again. And yeah, just seeing them regain all of their weight back in more, it really just helped me to know that, yeah, I can't mess around with the sugar and flour. So other things that helped me to, during the last few years in maintenance is really just, like I said, self-compassion, a lot of positive self-talk, especially when I was making mistakes, staying close to God, my higher power. It was such an important part in my journey, learning to rely on Him for strength when I felt weak. I had morning habit of praying, meditating, vision work, and just that really helped keep me grounded and focused and gave me strength above my own. I just learned to fully embrace the maintenance plan. So despite that initial weight creep that I had because of binging, I stuck to my maintenance plan and eventually have found stability in it. And it's taken a while. It's been a process, right? Like, I think the key is just to remember that there is no finish line here. So the goal is just to continue to progress. And so today I'm in such a better place than I was when I started maintenance, even from where I was a year ago. And I've learned the importance of continuing to surrender to the meal plan, specifically how important maintaining integrity with the quantities is. So, my biggest mistake during the last 4 years was just making those exceptions with the quantities and not adding enough food into my maintenance meal plan, which led to some binging on compliant food because my body just kind of took over and it needed more. So at one point, I had gained like 35 pounds back, even though I was still sugar and flour free. And so, yeah, it's so easy to regain the weight. We have to really be careful with that in maintenance, and it is a lifestyle. That's why the diet mentality doesn't work, just like doing something short term to go back to the way you used to live. That's why so many people in the weight loss world regain all of their weight. So we have to just remember that this is a lifestyle and to maintain that lifestyle mindset. So today, like while I strive for 100% every day, I still strive for 100% every day with my meal plan. I've adjusted my meal plan lots of times. The right meal plan is the one you can stick to consistently. So, um, but while I strive for 100% each day, I still fall short sometimes. I'm not perfect, but I continue to practice that compassionate curiosity and maintenance and adjust my strategy based on what I've learned from self reflection, and that's the key to sustainability. I really stopped trying to lose the weight from the weight creep and just learn to embrace my maintenance body at a little bit higher weight for with the main goal of having a healthy relationship with food and not binging. Like, I didn't want to get into any disordered eating. So having a little extra food in my plan, being at a little higher weight than I had originally ended up at, it was something I had to do a lot of thought work around and get a lot of support around. But that's my main goal, is just to have a healthy relationship with food. And after some time on a solid maintenance plan, now, after having an extended period without binging, now I am at a point where I feel ready to address the weight creep. And I'm going to go back down to what I feel is my ideal weight range and change my body composition by increasing bone and muscle mass and decreasing my body fat percentage. So I'm at a place right now where I have so much more peace with food and freedom from food thoughts. And now I can separate my meal plan from exercise, which was a big trigger for binging. So I've learned how to do that, and I'm just and now I am lifting weights consistently, exercising because I really enjoy it and I look forward to it every day, which I used to always hate exercise my whole life. So it's a really fun and exciting place to be at the part of my journey I'm in. I just feel like I want to move my body. It feels weird not to go on a walk or go to the gym each day. I really am trying not to focus so much on the weight, but instead to just focus on consistency with my meal plan and my exercise regime, and focusing on the process. I know the results will follow. So now I feel like I can adjust my meal plan as well, and as I need to, without all of the emotional drama I used to feel when I was adding or removing food. That was hard for me in the beginning when I was transitioning into maintenance, to add or remove food from my meal plan. Like, I always really struggled with that. Now I feel like I don't have all the drama about it. Now I can like easily do it. So if you're struggling in the beginning with maintenance, just know it really does get easier. Just like when you started this lifestyle, it gets easier as you gain experience. So I've had a lot of ups and downs with my weight and maintenance over the last, 4 years of living this lifestyle, 3 years in maintenance. I haven't done it perfectly, but over the last 3 years, I've maintained over 100-pound weight loss. I feel amazing. It's taken some time to learn to love myself where I am and accept my body in maintenance, regardless of the number on the scale. But the goal of self improvement has no finish line. So even still, we can just love ourselves right where we are. Um, my main focus now is just body recomposition. So I'm working on, like I said, just building muscle, decreasing my body fat percentage. And I hired a personal trainer that's guiding me. I am building that habit of exercise, which is so important in maintenance to help you to maintain that weight loss long term. So I'm free from cravings. I'm free from obsessive food thoughts. Right now, I still connect with my body every single day and surround myself with support. So I have daily check-ins with my buddy to keep me accountable and motivated. I invest in a health coach. I also have a life coach and a personal trainer right now. And it really helps me. And it's all, so like when you invest in the Year of You, I understand that like it's not easy to invest in yourself. I used to never spend money on myself for this way, but it really is just probably the best money I've ever spent in my life. So I'm binge free right now. I'm so proud to say that I've been binge free and have a solid exercise plan. And I'm and so a few weeks ago when we started the Summer of Success, I went back to that weight loss mode. But I did it with a much healthier mindset than I did in the past. During maintenance, trying to get off the weight creep. Because I took probably a few months before I allowed myself to adjust my meal plan. I did a lot of mindset work before I went back to weight loss mode. But now I feel like I can completely surrender to that weight loss meal plan that I'm on. It's a higher meal plan than I had when I was initially in the weight loss phase. I have a lot more protein in there than I did. So my main goal is still just not to binge. And yeah, just I'm continuing with those foundational habits. So I hope that by sharing all of my mistakes and wins with you, that it really just helps you to see that there's hope, even when you're not perfect and you have setbacks in the weight loss phase or maintenance. Like the key to success is to never give up and to be unstoppable. So I'm so proud of my journey, even though it's a little vulnerable, over the few years, like when I've shared when I was binging and stuff, like I shared all of that, and it was hard for me sometimes to share my challenges with you, but I really just want you to see that it's not always a straight line to success, but I hope that by doing this and sharing this, that it helps you to feel that you're not alone. If I can do it, so can you. So don't give up. Just keep learning from your own experience, your own mistakes, adjust your strategy, learn from those who have gone before you and have been successful at what you're trying to do. You can achieve your goal body this year and keep that weight off forever. So I wish that I wouldn't have made some of the mistakes that I have, but truly, like, I'm so much wiser because of my mistakes. And I have a deeper sense of empathy for others as well who struggle on the path as I have at times. So be patient with yourself, trust the process, and be all in. I believe in you and I am here for you. So I want to invite you guys to mark your calendars. The first Wednesday of each month at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, we have a free Wednesday Wellness Zoom call for people who are in the coaching program and not in the coaching program as well. So this is a really great opportunity for you guys to kind of see what we're all about here. if you're in the Healthy Real Food Challenge community and you're striving to find peace with food and lose weight with a sugar and flour free lifestyle, come and connect with us and be inspired. So every month, we switch off each month between a book club and an inspiring interview with someone who's just like rocking this lifestyle. So on August 7th, mark your calendars, August 7th at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time is our next Wednesday Wellness Call. And I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Deb Hager. She is one of my one-to-one clients and has had such an extraordinary transformation. So not only did she achieve her goal body this year, she's also had such an incredible inner shift. And I can't wait to interview her and learn from her, share her insights with you guys. So these interviews are just invaluable for those of you who are on this journey, because to develop a winning strategy for weight loss, you can either learn from your own mistakes and experiences, or learn from people who have gone before and been successful at what you're trying to do. So that's the shortcut to success, is to learn from other people who have been successful at what you're trying to do and do what they did. So come and learn from Deb. Bring your questions so that we can address them with Deb after the call. During the extended Q&A session, and it's going to be so fun. So for more details, I'll post more details in the Healthy Real Food Challenge Facebook group, including the Zoom link, so watch for it there. And so thank you guys so much for coming today. I don't have any questions in the comments today from my clients, so just remember to come to these sessions live. Those of you who are in the VIP Facebook group, you can come live, ask your questions, and get support with your program during this call. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Monday Mindset. I hope that my story inspires you to take action so that you can find peace with food and reclaim your health. So remember, you're worth the effort, and every step you take brings you closer to your goals. So until next time, bye everybody.